Hello and welcome to today's Tabletop, and today we'll ask ourselves what is the best starter set for BoltACtion. As you can see, I made one here for my German channel, and I did that because there was none for the German audience, so I kind of copied a bit Morning Glory, but I added also some of my experience because while I agree with him, something have changed in the third edition or will change, and he accounted for that. And sometimes, like, my own experience and tastes are a bit different than his. So definitely check out Morian Glory's stuff because he updated 2 months ago what he thinks about each faction and what's the best starter. And he did just amazing and great stuff for the Warlord game, BoltACtion. So let me get in and show you what I think. Well, it could be a short video. We'll see. The Japanese have just the Banzai. They have also the Island Assault, but in my opinion, while this is pretty neat, and you get 2 half armies, this is maybe just for getting a taste of the game. You get dice, you get pin markers, but you're not getting enough to build one army. So if you want to play one army and build one army and field it against friends, or if you want to start the hobby, I advise you to pick up a starter. And the Japanese have a great one. They have this Banzai, and it comes with 94 infantry. Most kits have 30, 35 infantry models, so you get quite a bit here in this Japanese one. And it comes, and this is what you want to look out for. You want to have a bunch of infantry. This is the infantry's game. They will hold the line, they will storm the beaches, and you get some support, some mortar, which is very good. Then you get a medium machine gun, which in the second edition wasn't as good, but is now buffed and really good, I think, in the third edition. And you get some officers, some lunge mines, and maybe this is a sniper. And you get a good tank, and you can build this tank as the Chiha, which is a howitzer tank for roughly 135 points. Or you can build it as a Kai Shinto, which is like a medium tank with a medium anti-tank gun for roughly 150 points, and kind of the equivalent of the Panzer III. So you can't go wrong. Don't trust the Warlord pictures. Go and see. Let me see here. I will advise you to go Scholar Progrenium or check out other battle reports where you can see the Japanese army in action, and every faction you're interested in, check out how the models look, how they feel, how they play. But yeah, that's where you start with the Japanese. Then let's go to the Soviet one. So the Soviets have 3 boxes, and they are like, from World Games, I'm here in Europe, it's like roughly 130 euros or 120. I can sometimes recommend check out, for example, Amazon. Sometimes they have lower prices, or Google. Sometimes you can get them on some hobby stores much cheaper, or buy it at your local game store. As you can see, they have like the US infantry. No, wait, they have the US Marines, they have the US Airborne, and they have the US Army. We'll see if we can get the pictures here. And yeah, let's check out here. If we go into this one is my favorite of the 3, because you get a cool tank, you get a Sherman tank, you get, well, this is not ideal. Let me go here. Let me go, where? Wait a second. Did we do the Soviet starter? Yeah, let's stay with the Soviets, then we go to to the Americans. So the Soviets, this is my favorite one, just because it brings a heavier tank. It's a medium tank with a heavy anti-tank gun, and you will get, let me see how many miniatures you will get. A bunch of miniatures. Why? Yeah, 66 infantry. That's a lot. You can flood definitely the board with all of these minis, and you get an officer. Why can I not zoom in? Like, this is pretty strange. Yeah, you get a bunch of cool minis. You get a cool tank. You get infantry support. I think this one is a bit superior to the other ones, but the other ones come also with cool stuff. So while Mordian Glory definitely picks like his favorite, I would just point out what's in the box, and then you can decide for yourself. But he is right that in this box you get, I think, 66 miniatures or more. How many? 64, a bit less. And he's right, he points out that this one is a light anti-tank gun, and it's a bit niche. Like, this won't do tons of damage. Like, it's neat that it's in here, but it would have been better maybe if this would have been a medium anti-tank gun. But maybe you just put it on the table and play it as a medium anti-tank gun, or you up armor it a bit. But the rest is pretty solid. You get an MMG team, an anti-tank rifle, a command platoon, and you get this T-34, 74. Like this is like the one tank we have seen before. It's the up armored version of this one, and it is like a medium tank with a heavy anti-tank gun, and this is a medium tank with a medium anti-tank gun, which isn't always that bad, because when you bring cheaper units, you can bring more stuff. You are more flexible. If you lose this tank, it doesn't hurt sometimes as much as to lose a heavy tank, or sometimes a medium tank does the same job or even better than a heavy tank. But yeah, that's up to your taste. For my taste, love myself a good medium tank with a heavy anti-tank gun. So this one for me would be number 2, same as Mordian Glory. And then you got this one, and this one has 90 miniatures infantry. This is like the Russian horde. If you buy this one, you, I think, don't have to buy any miniatures anymore, which is good. But then you're kind of like boxed in with, yeah, they don't look all the same. Don't worry, you will paint them differently and stuff. But yeah, you have a bunch of minis that kind of look the same, and you have a medium mortar. This is great, and you have an MMG team, and you have the KV-1. This is a slow vehicle. I think a tank can advance 9-inch. This one just 6. And if a tank runs, it runs 18-inch, and this one runs, I think, just 12. But it is armored all around. But it's a heavy tank with a medium anti-tank, I think, and it's a bit slow. But if you're into the Russian horde with some pretty epic but old tank, go for this. Like, it's definitely still awesome. But it's number 3. Then let's go to the Germans. The Germans have a bunch of starters because everybody started with a German army. I myself did too. And it's great. Like, yeah, we got here the German Grenadiers, the Waffen-SS kit, the Fallschirmjäger, the Blitzkrieg, the Afrika Korps, and the German Heer. And here is where I kind of see things a bit more differently than Mordian Glory, but also, like, he's right. He picks this one as his number 1, and we'll come to this the latest. Let's start with the Waffen-SS army. So for roughly $100, you get this army, and I can't really zoom in. I don't know why, but you get a stock, which will be, I think, a good tank in version 3, what's coming in the next month, because they will reduce the points of this tank, and then this tank will hopefully shine. It's a good tank already. The Tiger is a great tank. It's a fun tank, but in version 2 it was pretty expensive and it didn't do enough. It just costed roughly 400 points and took away from your army, and it didn't either do enough or it got destroyed, and then yeah, it was hard to play. I think in version 3 you're allowed to use more than one tank, so you can, this box is gotten better. This will get, hopefully, I'm sure it will get points reduced, this one too. The kit is also really great. They look a bit more evil than the other German normal, how do you say, army. And you get an MMG team, a mortar team, and you get heavy anti-tank gun, the PAK 40, which in version 2 wasn't all that playable because it was fixed, it was expensive, it didn't do all that much. But now in version 3, I think it got a buff. It hits better, all the anti-tank guns hit better. And so I think this is a very viable box. I don't want to say number 1, number 2, number 3, but it's definitely up there. It's one of the better ones. Then there are the German Fallschirmjägers, and here you get also the Stuk, which is a good tank. It has no turret, but it doesn't need to. You get a Hanomag. It's armored transport. It's a good one. It was a bit expensive in version 2. We'll see what will happen in version 3, but decent. I think in version 2 it didn't see a lot of play. I hope in version 3 they will fix it, but I like the model. You will get a medium mortar, you will get a PAK 40, and everything you need is in here. So if you like the look of the Fallschirmjäger, and if you wanna play like they have cool gear, they have not the Sturmgewehr 42, they have rifles, they have SMGs, and then they have this, it is a Sturmgewehr, but it's specially made for the Fallschirmjägers. And yeah, a great look. Just if you like the look, go for this. It's good that it includes a Panzerschreck team. It's similar to a bazooka. On 24 inches, you can go hunt tanks with this one. In version 2, it was a bit expensive to field this, but we'll see what will happen. But still nice that you have it. And then you get a flamethrower team. For me, this one is solid. Maybe not my personal top, but it is a solid kit. Then we have the Blitzkrieg Blitzkrieg Starter Army, and this one is kinda okay, maybe one of the weakest. And the reason being is because this is a Panzer IV, which is a great tank, but this one is also Panzer IV. And in this version, I think you will get a resin one, which is maybe not as good as the plastic one, and you can only buy it as this howitzer version, as far as I know it. And when you buy a normal plastic kit, you can buy it, you can build it in 3 different versions with a very long anti-tank gun, with a howitzer, with Schützen on. So not very flexible. And this army also, like, is an early war army, so you get not all the toys. You don't not getting all the Panzerfaust, not getting all the Sturmgewehr. The Panzerfaust, really, really useful. For 5 points, you give it to a man, and then you have one shot on 12 inches, and it can hurt a tank. And the Sturmgewehr are pretty fun, but also expensive. I don't know if you have to field them, so not a must-have, but surely cool. So this one, I think one of the weakest. Maybe you can just get a box of these guys for 40 bucks, and then you have your Blitzkrieg Germans. But if you like the look, if you get a good deal, go for it. But this one, more or less, one of the weakest. The Hanomag is still cool. This one, maybe, I don't know. It lacks a bit of a punch. Then we have the German Afrika Corps, and it's kind of cool. You get a Panzer III, and the Panzer III is a very, very solid tank. It is good, like Panzer III and Panzer IV. I like those very much. Panzer III was used in version 2 very much because it has so many machine gun shots and also a useful anti-tank gun. It is pretty slim, so you can cover and hide. You can hide it behind cover. And this is the look for the Afrika Corps. They have kind of this desert gray stuff. If you like it, go for it. And you get this beautiful Flak 88, which can be a very devastating gun. I haven't fielded it yet, and this kit wasn't really for me, but I wouldn't say that it's a bad kit. So it's just maybe it's in the middle somewhere. But if you like it and if you want to um, defeat your enemies from your back lines and then push forward with all your infantry and your light or medium tank, then do that. It's also great stuff. So then this is the one I chose when I started to play, and I kind of liked the look of everything that was in here. It has a Stug, it has the Puma, it has a mortar, an MMG team, a Pak 40, and yeah, I kind of liked what I saw here. It has all the toys. You get the Sturmgewehr 44 here. You get the Panzerfaust. These Germans look a bit different because these are late war Germans. So in the late war, they start now to adapt to war and to use more camouflage and yeah. And the Puma is okay. It's a good armored car. It is kind of like a tank. And in version 2, it was kind of good, but also a bit expensive. 160 points, and it has just like one shot, and it you used to, but it has a heavy anti-tank gun, if I recall. So it's almost a tank, and it can also recce away. If you shoot at this, it can kind of dodge the bullet. But it was a bit expensive to field, so I used to field this one more, or even a Panzer III or Panzer IV. But a solid, beautiful starter set. Again, this was my number one, and probably still is. And then we have the Winter Germans, and Morty and Glory says this is his number one, and I can understand why. It comes with 60, almost 60, 59 infantry, and it is a great deal. Like you don't need more infantry in that. You get a support team. You have the badass looking Winter Germans. You have this metal models here. You get Officer von Pimpenhofen, and I think what I don't know if this Bruce has the Sturmgewehrs or the STG 42s and the Panzerfaust, but you might not need it. But in the more you play, you might need some Panzerfausts. But yeah, you have everything you need. The Panzer IV is really good. Like it's really good. It's useful. It can duel pretty much everything that's on the table. You can build it as 3 different versions, and the transport is also really good. When I started, I didn't want the transport. I wanted more tanks, more shooting things, but a vehicle is really good, although it can die pretty fast. You can put a bunch of people in here, drive it up the table, hide it behind something, and then get your men out so that they're already halfway there. So a great kit, and probably like contesting the number one or the upper places with the German Grenadiers and the SS set or the Fallschirmjägers. Yeah, so we got Japan, we got the Germans, we got the Soviet Union. Let's do the US Army now. So, BoltACtion. Come on. USA. USA has 3 starter sets, and I have a clear favorite. And that's this one. And we'll go into this, and then is the Airborne. The Morning Glory recommends the Airborne one. I'm not so sure. And then there's the Marine one, and I think the US Marines are maybe the weakest set. So let's start with the last one. Like this is the US Marines. Warlord game doesn't do a good job of displaying what's in this set. So US Marines starter, we have to check it out um, on Google. And I think like this is bad. This is bad. I think yeah, it's not my bad. It's like Warlord Games bad. It's like look, I think you get a bunch of minis. You get this half track. You get a light anti-tank gun, as far as I can see it, and then you get some really beautiful minis that are fighting somewhere in the Pacific. And for the price, I think it's okay, but you lack a punch. Like you don't have a tank, you don't have an anti-tank gun. Sure, for 20 euros or a bit more or 20 bucks, you can add a tank, and there you go. But and this is my favorite one. This is the U.S. Army. Here, you get a Sherman, um, which is a medium tank with a medium anti-tank gun. You get a Greyhound, I guess, a transporter, an armored transport. You get your MMG team. I think you get not one MMG teams, you get three MMG teams. And in the second edition, it was kind of bad, but in third edition, MMG teams are good, and you want to have a couple of MMG teams. And there you have it. You buy the set, you have a tank, you have an armored transport, you have enough infantry to build everything you have. As you can see, bazooka, grease gun, BRR, a bar, you have a mortar, you have officers, and you have also a light or medium howitzer. And this is good. You have infantry support. You can easily kit bash a sniper, or you can say this one is my sniper, and there you're good to go. So this is the no-brainer. This is the number one. And here we got the EOS Airborne, and beautifully, like we get what's inside, but we don't see the picture. So Warlord game, great stuff. US Airborne BoltACtion starter. And here you can see, you can also check YouTube, but yeah, this is what you get. And it's not as expensive as you can see. It's just like 70 euros where I live. And you get these guys that look like the Airborne. They look pretty cool. Again, sorry for the pictures, but you get everything you need. You get the MMG, you get the mortar, you get, maybe this is a sniper or commander, you get a medium artillery, and like 70 bucks, and then you can add a tank or add an infantry unit, whatever you want to do. So Morning Glory, I think, recommends this. I think I would recommend the other one, but again, it's up to you, and you you find your way. So we have Japan, we have the Germans, we have the Soviet Unions, we have USA. Let's do BoltACtion. Let's do France. I didn't know France had one, but France got a starter set, and it's a beautiful one. What can I say? They have like pretty. This is probably a light out anti-tank gun, a medium tank, hopefully with a medium anti-tank gun. They have beautiful plastic minis. I don't know how strong they are, but these guys look amazing. Probably some Tunisian troops, some French troops. These ones seem like elite star or airborne people. And yeah, you got a mortar, you got an MMG, you get a tank, and what do you need more? And you got a bunch of minis. You can play a game with this. You can win games with this. So the French army, definitely a good one. For the Italian army, we have the same deal almost. You don't get two tanks. This indicates that you can build either this one or the other. This one is a howitzer tank, which is more to support your infantry and kill enemy infantry or pin up enemy tanks. And this one is more to dual light to medium tanks and also hose down enemy infantry with this MMG, a great one. This one I didn't try, and they look great. I think the Italian have also cool rules, and yeah, then they have an auto gun, and they have a cool kit. I know a friend who plays Italians and is pretty happy with them. So not much more to say. If you want to play Italians, there you go. And I think the last one that we need to talk about is Great Britain. And if I recall, Great Britain has 4 the airborne, the commandos, and yeah, if I miss one, then I miss one. But this one is, let's start with the British 8th Army. It's pretty solid. I'm missing a tank here, and I think the price is a bit too much, but you get, how many minis? 36 minis. You get an anti-tank gun, you get a howitzer, it's okay. You get brand carriers, which are really cool. You get a bunch of minis. Um, yeah, it's cool, but it's not exactly what I'm looking for. So it's kind of cool. Where are we? Then you get like this one. I think this one is great. Like, look at this here for the same price. You get a brand carrier, which is very usable. This one has 2 LMGs, so you can get a bunch of shots and you can transport a few troops with this one. You get the Churchill, which is, I think, an okay or good tank. It has it's a heavy tank with a medium anti-tank gun. You get an artillery piece, anti-tank gun. You can use it also as a howitzer if you say you don't need to buy new minis. You can say, today I use this as a howitzer, and that's it. You get cool miniatures, and here you get an MMG team and a mortar. So this one's pretty cool. Would be my first pick. Then you get here the British Airborne, and it has 40 infantry minis. It's like British Airborne, and yeah, I don't know. This one's not for me. I don't see really the value. Like, this is 40 miniatures. You can also buy for 40 bucks just the airborne, and then okay, this is like 14 euros, 40 euros, and another 20 or something. But I don't know. For a starter, I don't feel like super excited for this one, but still kind of cool. You decide. I mean, I'm just saying what I think, but doesn't get my juices flowing. And then there's this one, also a good one. You get a commandos, you get the beautiful looking miniatures, you get an MMG, you get the mortar, you get a medic or something like this, and a command squad, and you get a centaur. So the centaur, I think, is resin, and this tank is an infantry support tank, and it fires HE shells, so it cannot duel enemy armor. It is there to kill enemy infantry, and it is out of resin and not plastic, which is maybe a bit inferior. And then, yeah, you got a bunch of special teams. But I was not really, I saw this once for 60 bucks, so that was a good deal. But I didn't buy it. I went for the Perry miniatures. I will talk about it at the end of the video. But it's pretty much for 40 bucks, the infantry squads, the commandos, and then 14, 14, and maybe a 20. But I don't know if I would go for the center. But if you like this, if you like this, if you get a good deal, this is everything you need. You get a bunch of minis, you get a tank, you get an MMG, a mortar. You're good to go. You can play, but it's maybe not like it's okay for the price, but I don't know. So that was all the British I could cover, and then we go for Perry miniatures. And Perry miniatures is not the way to start, but there is for Perry miniatures, you can get there are 42 miniatures in here. You pay 30 bucks, and I think that's what they look like. I hope, or like that's what they look like. I think they look a bit better, like this. And you can get this like American Army. You can get the British Desert Rats, and as you can see, you get 40 miniatures in here, and you can get the German Afrika Corps. And it's great value. It's like 30 bucks. You get almost 40 miniatures, and they're a bit more fiddly. and a bit slimmer, but they are true scale. So I kind of like them. They're not as heroic and um, as the Warlord ones, but you get at a cheaper price, more minis, you can fill up your ranks. Definitely cool. So I think this was the video on what starter box is the best, and we see us in the next video. See ya.